Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Hive Mind.
Welcome.
I'm Genevieve.
I'm Autumn.
I'm Abby.
I'm Alexis.
Today we're gonna be doing finally part 2
I'm back in the house.
of Abby's case. Sylvia Lycan, right?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Was supposed to do it, and as you've heard, had to bring Jordan to the hospital. He's okay, in case you were concerned.
No, he's actually dead.
As you heard from the last episode. And
What?
Abby went with him.
Yes. Hospital.
Abby's actually recording this from the grave.
I'm actually a hologram.
Yeah, like
Look,
they
I
did
can
with
go
Michael
through her.
Jackson.
She just
Skadoosh.
Our next case,
Me dying.
Abby dying in your basement.
Can this turn on?
Let's not.
No. Is it dead?
No, I charged it.
there it goes.
There it goes.
How was your guys' week? Why have you been gone?
I was up north. Why does my screen look like that? Yeah, I was up north.
Did you have fun?
I don't know. It was okay.
How was your week?
It was a week. I worked. I slept. I just
Friday
took my
was fucking
sisters
nuts.
to Transformers.
Slept.
Oh, damn.
Lovely.
It was just like every other Transformer movie.
You weren't impressed by Transformer animals?
With gorillas.
The
and
gorilla
cheetahs.
Transformer
No.
gorilla.
I really wasn't.
What?
Damn.
I didn't really
It was
think
the
was gonna be
same
that good.
King Kong
freaking
Transformer.
story as
the
every
same
other
storyline.
Transformer has had.
When I go see it, I'm just gonna start acting like an ape in the.
For real.
Hello?
You should hear my mom
I get on
do
all
that.
fours. I run
Shit's
down
insane.
the stairs. I start throwing my poop.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't get that rough.
There you go.
I throw it at the screen.
They're like, damn, this is really realistic.
What is that called? 40?
40, yeah.
Yeah.
40?
Oh. I thought you meant like 40 years old.
Yeah.
It might as well be.
That's what happens when you turn 40.
Are you re-downloading Google Docs?
I'm opening Google Docs.
You don't just have it on there?
No.
I have mine tabbed as
Why are
a
you
favorite.
bullying her?
I feel like it.
Yeah, says
She's
the one without a
bullying me all
laptop.
fucking day today.
Oh.
Says,
Hey,
Says-
I have a
Says the
tablet.
one who's a werewolf.
says the one who
Shut up.
says the one who wrote their story out of order.
Man.
I forgot
I-
about that.
Ooh, I
This turned into
I-
an
I
episode
wrote
where
that
we
shit
roast
down.
each
Y'all
other.
typed it.
This turned into an episode where we just roast each other. We never get to part 2 of your case.
No.
Does anyone put a timer?
I will.
All right, where did I leave off?
I haven't gotten there
Oh.
yet.
My Lewis Tomlinson photo.
I know
or
I
folder.
highlighted it
Oh.
blue.
There
There we go.
He's so fine.
So do you want to kind of give a recap?
Yes.
I know. It's set.
Since it's been a while.
I'm trying to remember if I have my thing
Again,
on where it
trigger
never turns off.
warning.
Yep, lots of trigger warnings. Very just nasty case. So, backstory, Sylvia's 16 and her younger sister Jenny, they move into Gertrude's house because
Good.
their dad is in the circus with their brothers and the mom.
Just imagine being in the circus.
Well, he's not in the circus. He
But-
worked,
Just picture moving around with a circus.
So he was like a carny boy.
yeah, basically. Well, he worked in a concession stand at the circus. Very important job.
So he sold hot dogs. Get
Ah,
your
dogs.
hot dogs. Get your hot dogs.
One Coca-Cola Light.
One Coca-Cola
Normal.
One Coca-Cola Zero. I love that video.
So they moved into Gertrude's house. Gertrude's
Southern.
and
They moved into
they
Gertrude's
moved
house.
into Gertrude's house. Gertrude's a
Piece of
wench.
shit.
A hag.
Started beating on Sylvia. So did her kids. So did the neighborhood kids.
For money.
And
For money.
They forced her older or younger sister to do it too, right?
They didn't force her. She willingly participated.
But like it was like they gave
Like
her
Jenny-
like an
It was-
ultimatum.
no, Jenny's Sylvia's sister.
Yeah, that's
Paula.
Yeah, that's what I'm
trying to
saying
say.
about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
the
forced her.
disabled one.
Yeah,
Yes.
the one
Yeah,
with
without
the
a leg.
They like
knee
gave her
or
the
something.
ultimatum: either you beat her or you're
Yeah.
gonna get
You're
some.
gonna get some.
That's horrible.
Yeah, they beat her till she couldn't control her
Bladder.
bladder, also pooping.
That made me think of "Slut Me Out." Don't come quick, I control my bladder.
We showed that song to her for the first time the other
Dick
day.
real
Really?
big,
Yeah.
my ladder.
Alexis, is that work?
Me out, slut. We're gonna
Beat
get
her so she
demonetized.
couldn't do that. Threw her into walls. Gertrude's daughter's boyfriend would start beating her, throwing her into walls, pushing her down the stairs,
Also tied her up.
tied her up.
Didn't they leave her in the basement with like no food, no water,
Yep.
nowhere to use the bathroom?
And
Yep.
the neighborhood kids too, right?
Yep, they would burn her, cut her, put salt in her cuts. Then what else? Yeah. Starve her and then force feed her nasty food.
With
Didn't
like
she
everything on it.
Didn't she eat one of the kids' shit?
Yeah,
Like
she
di-
was
dirty
force fed a
diapers.
diaper.
Oh,
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Ugh.
Shoved a empty Coke bottle up her cooch.
Mm.
Yeah.
We have an audience.
Maybe,
today.
Jeremy, if you listen to the podcast, you would know this.
You wouldn't be surprised
Yeah,
by this
Jeremy.
shit.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, thought he was playing
Sudoku?
cock for a second.
What?
Clash of Clans. I thought he was playing cock.
Oh.
I'm really glad you guys couldn't hear that.
Yeah.
So, where we left off, I'll read up a little bit. Gertrude made Sylvia write a letter to her parents saying,
I forgot about that.
which is the letter that was like, "Dear Mr. and Mrs. Likens,"
Which makes no
first of
damn
all,
sense.
who's calling their parents Mr. and Mrs.? Not
Yeah.
me. Saying like she hung out with some boys and that they beat her up and carved the "I'm a prostitute and I'm proud of it" on her stomach, like that they did all that to her. After writing the letter, John took Sylvia, which is the neighbor, and tied up her wrists to the basement railing where her feet are barely touching the ground, and she is basically just dangling from her wrists. Then force-fed her crackers that she didn't want and was so dehydrated that she couldn't even swallow the crackers. He's also punching her in the stomach as she's trying to eat these crackers, so she's probably just like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's not funny, but like,
You know what I thought of in White Chicks when he's like,
yeah.
"Your mama's so old that she
Oh
breastfeeds
my
like this."
god.
Or I think of like the cinnamon challenge.
Glozell.
Oh. I did that, and my dad told me I was stupid.
I did the
I
like
did.
salt and ice or whatever.
Oh.
the ice,
Oh,
really?
ice
Yeah.
salt challenge.
Do you remember?
Burnt the shit out of me.
Do you remember the putting? Do you remember putting like the permanent marker on your hand and then putting the flashlight on it? And
Yeah.
zapping it?
No.
Yeah.
I remember
Really? You
that.
never did that one?
Mm-mm. No, I remember taking like the erasers.
Oh, I remember doing that
Oh
too.
yeah.
I don't think I ever did the eraser. Is that just where you?
You
Did we start
practically just
literally
give
use,
yourself a rug burn with
Yeah.
eraser.
Pretty much.
See how
Oh.
long you can go.
This is where he also, for some god-awful reason, makes her eat the contents of his younger brother's diaper. The person who... No, I was wrong. This isn't the neighbor. This is one of Gertrude's sons, who is 12 years old.
At the time.
12 years old, forcing a 16-year-old to do this.
Feral.
Yeah. On,
You
Oc-
need mental help.
on October 25th,
Words.
25th, Sylvia overheard Gertrude and her kids making plans to dump Sylvia's body into the woods, so she now knows the end is sooner than later. Sylvia tried to run, but with her injuries, Gertrude caught her, dragged her inside, and force-fed her toast, which makes no sense.
Force fed her toast.
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me give you some toast.
You tried to
After-
run away? Toast.
Here's toast.
Yeah.
Did you read if it had stuff on it?
I
Is
don't
it
think
just,
it
like,
did. I think it was just
straight
toasted
toast?
bread.
Oh.
Just
No,
hot
then
bread.
At least
Butter?
she got like something.
I was gonna say, if you think about it though, like by the sounds of it, they don't have much money, so I'm
Mm-mm.
guessing it was bread and cheese sandwiches a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
but-
What?
I still don't understand why,
Well,
but
Here's bread.
when I was a child, I asked my grandparents, may I please have
your what up?
bread? It's
Her grandparents.
Oh,
no, it's not me. It's a video I saw one time.
Can I have some more soup?
Yeah, this made no sense because what the hell is toast gonna do? Like, what are?
Especially when she's dehydrated.
Yeah, and
Can't
has
swallow this
she
shit.
has no strength to eat.
let's not give her water. Let's give her toast.
Yeah.
Let's give her dry ass toast. Gertrude then hits Sylvia in the face with a curtain rod with
What the fuck?
Yep, with such force that the rod bends in half to like a perfect right angle.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Here, eat some toast.
90 degrees.
Here's some toast. Now you're
How
getting
dare you
shit
eat
whipped
my
in the
fucking
face.
toast.
For
She
real.
goes, this is what she goes. Yada.
Why?
No, it's more like she's getting ready to bat. Just
Ugh.
This shit went to a 90 degrees. How hard
yes.
Damn, man. What kind
Yeah.
of fucking super strength do you got?
Well, now she's down a curtain rod. You did it to yourself.
Your house was already a little bit.
That
Now
makes
you're missing a
no
curtain rod.
sense.
No. Here's toast. Curtain rod. What?
Toast in the mouth. At this point, Coy Hubbard is at the house and he takes the curtain rod from Gertrude and hits Sylvia one last time, rendering her unconscious.
I thought you were going to say he hits Gertrude.
That would
No.
be so much
Ugh.
better.
I wish it did. I wish it said that, but it does not.
What the fuck?
Gertrude then drags Sylvia back down to the basement, and that evening Sylvia came back. Oh, she woke up from being unconscious. Desperately trying to scream for help and somehow trying to alert the neighbors. Yelling for help, hitting the walls with a shovel, trying anything. Apparently a next door neighbor had informed the police that she had heard something going on at the house, but since the noise suddenly stopped at 3 a.m., she didn't inform the police. I think she was gonna, and then decided not to.
Always call the cops.
Yep. On one morning of October 26th, the next day, Sylvia's speech was gargled, and she was no longer really able to control her limbs. Gertrude propped her up against the wall, kind of sitting, and attempted to feed her a donut and a glass of milk.
Oh,
So-
a little hydration. Not water. though,
Milk.
But milk.
Milk.
This just makes me so mad.
Helps her bones.
Makes your bones go
Someone
strong.
could have called 911.
She needs some milk.
He needs some milk. Oh my god, get this man some titties.
Sylvia again is in such bad shape that she can't even hold the glass of milk. This angers Gertrude, and Gertrude threw Sylvia
This bitch
Sylvia
is
to
so
the
stupid.
floor in frustration and brought her back down to the basement. Sylvia became delirious at this point, only being able to mumble and moan. Paula asked her to recite the alphabet, and Sylvia could only recite the first 4 letters. Paula then verbally threatened Sylvia that if she did not stand up, she would inflict a long jump on her.
What?
A what?
A long jump?
So when I was writing
She's
this,
running, jumping 20
What?
feet in the air and landed on Sylvia? What the fuck?
yeah, that's why I was confused. So I wrote, I made it out, possibly meaning she was just going to run and jump on her.
I'm going to
don't
perform a
think
long
it's
jump on
A
you.
long
Yeah.
jump
I'm
on
gonna
you.
do a long jump on you. It's my specialty.
I did track and field.
I would have laughed. Then she would have done it.
Jenna. Haha.
Walk is a long run or a long jump. What are you gonna do?
and then you just.
I barely even get to laugh. I'm like, ha!
Well, Sylvia then shit herself, and Gertrude demanded that she clean herself up, which is impossible because she can't even speak, let alone functionally clean herself up from this. That afternoon, a group of Sylvia's tormentors all got together, and Sylvia attempted to point them out and say their names, but she's in such bad shape that she can barely even pronounce the names. When she reached Gertrude, she said, "You're Gertie," Gertrude's nickname. And Gertrude responded by saying, "Shut up, you know who I am." She was then given a pear to bite into. I don't know what all these foods are. Like, these are the most random foods.
They're
I like
probably what
pears.
she's probably trying to do is that when she passes, it looks like she was taking care of her, and it was probably just
Oh.
like
Yeah.
a normal passing,
A normal passing with broken bones and
or like
scars.
an accident.
Probably
that happened
brain
where
damage,
she was, like,
too.
hit or something.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
She was unable to bite into the pear because her teeth were so loose from being beaten. John Jr. had later dragged her into the house. Dragged in the hose from outside and started spraying Sylvia. Richard Hobbs, the one who had tried to help with the stomach carving, had helped bring in the hose also. They were just spraying her down, washing her, as this is what Gertrude said, this is what was necessary. Sylvia again tried to escape the basement, but collapsed before she could even reach the stairs. Gertrude then stomped on Sylvia's head at 5:30 p.m. Yep.
This poor baby.
I don't know what possesses someone to do all this.
Why would you bring a hose and use it in
Well,
your
'cause
house?
It
They're in
was
the
like just a
basement.
straight concrete basement.
Yeah, it was
there
like
was like the mattress.
The
or- I
mildew?
don't even know if the
Yeah.
mattress is in there.
Okay. Okay.
The stank in that basement, probably.
I'm just thinking, like, bringing a hose down here, like, you're just
The
making like,
Yeah.
a mess for yourself.
Richard Hobbs returned to the basement where he slipped on some water and fell on the ground, which is then where he saw Stephanie crying, holding Sylvia's beaten, emaciated. I typed this and I can't even read.
You got
emaciated.
Yeah,
You got it.
body after she had been ordered by her mother to clean Sylvia. Stephanie.
Tiffany.
Also, a little while ago, you said water.
Water.
You said water like you were from New Jersey.
did.
And I was sitting here like giggling, like waiting for the perfect time to be like,
Water.
Water.
Stephanie and Richard gave Sylvia a warm, soapy bath and dressed her in new clothes and laid her on a mat. I know these are the most random people. Like let's
warm, soapy bath.
let's beat
Here.
the shit out of her and then give her a nice little sudsy bath.
You want a spa
Well,
day?
let's
Okay.
beat the shit out of her. Bring a hose inside. Wash her off. Stomp on her head. Now you want a nice warm bath with
Yeah.
bubbles?
In new clothes.
Yeah, in new clothes, and then laid her on a mattress this time,
Oh.
not just the floor, in one of the bedrooms.
Oh.
So
She's not in the
there,
basement.
I don't know. Sylvia then muttered her last wish, saying she wished her dad was there. She had also muttered that she wished Stephanie would take her home. Yeah.
Cry.
Stephanie's
know.
her sister, right?
No, Stephanie is Gertrude's daughter that they were like met through school.
Oh.
But she was like
They
okay
were, like,
with.
Yeah, they were like, they were kind of like, because remember,
She said the prostitute.
Sylvia said that she was a prostitute.
Mhm.
Was Stephanie ever involved in beating?
I don't
I
think
think,
nothing like
And
huge.
the rest of them.
No.
Okay.
But she was the one that was holding
And
Sylvia's
crying.
body.
And her
she
boyfriend
was
is
crying.
the one who's also beating her up.
Okay.
This is all crazy because obviously this seems like it would be over like a year or something, but it was just like 3 months. This all happened in 3 months
Good
of just
Lord.
pure hell. Because Sylvia was able to say this stuff, Stephanie probably thought that Sylvia was going to be okay and like getting better. But then immediately after, Stephanie noticed that Sylvia was not breathing. She started to try and resuscitate her by doing mouth to mouth. As all this was going on, Gertrude was standing there yelling, "Faker, faker," and then hit Sylvia with a book.
I'm sorry. You don't fake stop breathing. You can lay there for a little bit and just stop breathing.
If someone's
but
doing
like,
mouth to mouth, you are gonna breathe.
yeah,
Yeah.
But-
stupid bitch.
But why do mouth to mouth? Why not CPR?
I think she did
Like
like
CPR, and mouth to mouth?
Probably.
I hope so.
Probably.
If they're saying
I heard, like, just mouth to mouth. I was like-
resuscitation, it typically is CPR and mouth to mouth. Or maybe that's all she knew. She didn't know how to do CPR.
Yeah, it's probably. Well, she's probably so like, oh my God.
Yeah,
This is
in
the
shock.
first thing that comes to her mind.
And then Gertrude just smacks her.
Faker,
You're faking it.
Throws
Book.
a book.
Here, let's make it real.
She is so fucked in the head. So now Gertrude is finally starting to realize that Sylvia is actually dead and not just faking it. Wow.
What a
What a
coincidence.
coincidence.
Really?
Would you
We all said differently.
Would you put a thought to that? That's so crazy. How did
What's
that
not
happen?
clicking?
You literally tortured this girl to death.
What did you expect? She'd make a miraculous recovery.
I wonder what she would expect. Like, it's been 3 months and she's been torturing her. When's the dad supposed to come back? Maybe 5
I don't
months?
know. They never really, or at least I didn't find anything that really said how long he was going to be gone or when he was
But,
going to
like,
come back.
how do you think she was going to cover that up?
Next.
I don't know.
There's no fucking way that she could use that as an accident.
No way.
Like, I know, like, the carving, she got away with it somehow because of the fucking letter. But everything else.
The cigarette burns, the salt in her fucking
Yeah.
wounds and shit. Being beaten
Emaciated.
24/7, emaciated.
And like I don't know if they obviously did do a autopsy, but like is she not thinking that's gonna happen?
Mhm.
Like a lot of this stuff will show up on there.
Yeah.
Practically all of it. Even
Yeah.
the fact that she can't control her bladder or bowel movements will show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the broken bones that never recovered
Burns,
correctly, healed correctly,
Cut scars,
you'll find them.
everything. Brain damage probably.
Mhm.
Horrible.
So once she realizes that Sylvie's actually dead, she tells the neighbor, Richard Hobbs, to call the police from a payphone. Jesus Christ, I
police.
cannot talk
The
today.
puppo.
The bleep.
The police arrive at 6:30 p.m. and discover Sylvia's mutilated, frail, emaciated body laying on a dirty mattress in one of the bedrooms. Gertrude then handed the police the letter that she forced Sylvia to write, the one saying she was beaten up by a group of boys, and Gertrude told the police that she tried her best to take care of Sylvia.
What the fuck?
I know.
Bullshit.
And
If
that
everyone
my
else in the
God.
fucking family is perfectly fine, not emaciated, what makes you think that that one singular child that is emaciated was helped?
she was just a troubled
the
kid.
Fuck. Okay, keep going. I want to know what the police did.
Yeah, she said that she tried her best to take care of Sylvia and that she was a troubled child who ran away with a group of unknown boys and that she became sexually active with them. Contrary to what Gertrude was saying, the officers that were on the scene could tell just by looking at Sylvia's body that because of how the bruises on her body were all healing at different times, that this wasn't just a one-time thing. Duh.
Good.
Gertrude told the police that she tried to take care of her and doctor her up for around an hour before she died. Paula stood in the room with a Bible in her hand, saying that Sylvia's death was meant to happen. Yep.
I'm sorry. Okay, that was stupid.
You're
First
done.
of all, you're done.
Whoa.
Jail. She then turns to Jenny, Sylvia's younger sister, and says, "If you want to live with us, we'll treat you like our own sister." Thinking like, "Hey, your sister just died, but like we'll take you
We'll
in.
take care of you.
We'll love you."
I hope she spoke up.
Yeah. Initially, when talking to the police, Jenny was telling the police everything that Gertrude wanted her to say, but luckily she caught the eye of one of the officers and was able to tell them, "If you get me out of here, I'll tell you everything."
Good.
Jenny luckily got out and gave her statement to the police, which they then were after Gertrude, Paula, Stephanie, and John Jr. were all arrested on suspicion of Sylvia's murder.
All those fucking kids should be arrested too.
Yeah. Within hours of Sylvia's bodies being discovered. They were all tried and convicted on May of 1966 of neglecting, torturing, and murdering Sylvia. At the defendant's trial, Deputy Prosecutor Leroy New described the case as the most diabolical case to ever come before a court or jury. And Gertrude's defense attorney, William C. Erbecker, described Likens as having been subject to acts of degradation that you wouldn't commit on a dog before her death. After 8 hours of deliberation, the jury found Gertrude Benezuski guilty of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life imprisonment but was released on parole in 1985.
How do you release a person?
What'd
like
she
that?
do after? They
I'll
always do
I'll
something.
get there.
Oh.
Actually, well, Paula was found guilty of second-degree murder and was released in 1972. Hobbs, Hubbard, and John were found guilty of manslaughter and served less than 2 years in the Indiana Reformatory before being granted parole February 27th, 1968.
Only 2 years.
So how does,
I don't even think that was a full 2 years.
like, oh, we beat, tortured, like,
For
killed
3 months.
for 3 months, and we're like, oh, you get 2 years in jail.
What makes
No.
you think they're not going to do it to some random other person?
Yeah.
Or what about all of those neighborhood kids? Like the ages
That's what
that
I
like it
said.
seemed like it's like the time where you're going through like the most
Yeah,
changes.
yeah,
You're going through your period. Well, you're going through puberty.
Where you start to learn how to act as a human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your mental capacity starts.
And now this
changing.
happens.
And
I
this is
bet
the
you
first thing that
sometime
you're-
down their road they
Well, even like
Fucking
the younger
fucks.
ones are gonna think like, oh, this is fine.
exactly.
It's fine to beat people in the head
No one
with a
said
curtain rod.
anything.
That's just normal Tuesday.
That's why I said you should have fucking arrested those children. I don't give a fuck what their age is.
A whole imagine that your whole neighborhood gets arrested.
They needed to be.
I don't give a fuck.
The autopsy of Sylvia's body revealed she had suffered an excess of 150 separate wounds across her entire body.
Holy fuck.
3 months. That's not even one a day.
In addition to being extremely emaciated at her time of death, the wounds themselves varied in location, nature, severity, and the stages of healing. Her injuries included burns, severe bruising, and extensive muscle and nerve damage. Her vaginal cavity was almost swollen shut, probably from the Coke bottle, and just pissing herself.
Mm-hmm.
All of Sylvia's fingernails were broken backwards, and most of the external layers of skin.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck that. That
Yeah.
just made me.
Mm.
And most of the external layers of skin upon the child's face, breasts, necks, and right knee had peeled or receded.
Jeezums.
Lichens had evidently bitten through her lips, partially severing sections of them from her face.
Her lips are just hanging.
Well, like parts of them are like disconnected.
Ooh.
The official cause of Sylvia's death was listed by coroner Dr. Arthur Kebbel as a subdermal hematoma due to her receiving a severe blow to her right temple,
Oh, those will fuck you up.
which was
Hematomas,
probably
you can do,
yeah.
you can do like little to nothing about those.
Both
They're
The
basically like a blood clot that's
Those-
like that big.
That's probably
Mhm.
her stomping on her fucking head.
yeah.
Or the curtain
I
rod.
was gonna say, or the
Yeah.
curtain
Well,
rod.
I think the curtain rod was before the stomping on the
It
head.
probably started like a clot.
I was gonna
and
say
then
it
the
probably
just got worse.
Keep
Fuck
growing and growing. Both the shock she had primarily suffered due to the severe and prolonged damage inflicted to her skin and subcutaneous tissues, plus the severe malnutrition were listed as contributory factors to her death. Rigor mortis had fully developed at the time of the discovery of her body, indicating lichens may have been deceased for up to 8 hours before police had arrived.
What did Gertrude say? It was only like
She helped
Like-
her an hour before the
yeah, doctored
She
her
tried
up.
to take care of her.
stupid bitch.
Also, the police are gonna think that's weird because you have not I guess like someone who's living with you that comes home beaten to a pulp. Her story doesn't add up. Someone's beaten to a pulp. They come home. Why are you trying to doctor them at home when they look like that? Why wouldn't you take them
That
to the
Yeah,
hospital?
exactly.
So like
Yeah.
that story immediately was probably like the fuck.
Red flag. Dr. Kebbel did note lichens had been recently bathed, possibly after death, and that this act could have hastened the loss of body temperature and thus sped the onset of rigor mortis.
Do you think that's why they gave her a warm bath?
Well,
Yeah.
they gave her the bath before she like officially died. So
But
maybe.
Remember what I was saying? How they were like feeding her all this stuff
Yeah.
to make
Making it look like it.
Yeah, she had a full stomach. She's got bath. She's been fed, drank.
New clothes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. On December 30th, 1965, the Marin County Grand Jury returned first-degree murder indictments against Gertrude Benezuski and 2 of her 3 oldest children, Paula and John Benezuski Jr. Also indicted were Richard Hobbs and Coy Hubbard. All were charged with having repeatedly struck, beaten, kicked, and otherwise inflicting a accumulation of fatal injuries to Sylvia Likens with premeditated malice.
Wait, so they got recharged, or what does that mean?
I think so, yeah.
Look it up.
Well, they got
Re-indicted?
they returned first-degree murder indictments.
Yes, that means they would have.
They like retried.
Yep,
Yeah.
they got retried.
Like however.
Are you looking at more thirst talks?
Yes,
No,
she is. Can't confirm.
I'm not.
It's Colby
Even though
Brock.
you can't see this shit. It
Pedro
probably is.
Pascal.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
I didn't really look.
Damn.
3 weeks prior to the filing of the indictments against the 5 defendants, Stephanie Benezuski had been released from custody upon a writ of I cannot read today. Habeas corpus bond, with her attorney successfully contending the state had insufficient evidence to support any murder or accumulation of fatal injuries.
They have a fucking body.
Yeah. Stephanie waived her immunity from any potential impending prosecution while agreeing to testify against her family and any other individuals charged with abusing and murdering Sylvia.
And any other individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So the neighborhood kids.
Yeah, I don't think they're
They have like a whole SWAT like van. They
Yeah.
pull up. They're like, all
a
right,
school
kids,
bus.
come out.
In.
That would be the longest trial.
That's
At
okay,
a
though.
They probably would try them each on their own though.
Yeah.
At a formal pretrial hearing held on March 16, 1966, several psychiatrists testified before Judge Saul Isaac Reb as to their conclusions regarding psychiatric evaluations they had conducted upon the 3 individuals indicted in Likens' murder. These experts testified that all 3 were mentally competent to stand trial.
Period.
Good.
So,
Good.
yeah.
They didn't
Suck
get
a
out on
dick.
mental health.
Bitch.
In September 1970, the Indiana Supreme Court reversed the convictions of Gertrude and Paula Benezuski on the basis that Judge Saul Isaac Reb had denied repeatedly submitting motions by their defense counsel at their original trial for both change of venue and separate trials. This ruling further stated that the circumstances regarding the prejudicial atmosphere created during their initial trial, due to the extensive news, media publicly surrounding the case, impeded any chance of either appellant receiving a fair trial. That's probably the wrong word.
So they got let go?
No, I think they're just like now re-going over it again.
Jesus.
The pair were retried in 1971. On this occasion, Paula Benezuski opted to plead guilty to voluntary manslaughter rather than face a retrial. She was sentenced to serve a term of between 2 and 20 years imprisonment for her part in Likens' abuse and death, despite twice unsuccessfully having attempted to escape from prison in 1971.
What?
Tried to escape.
Oh my God.
Wait,
Sorry.
Gertrude did?
No, Paula.
Oh. Okay, I thought you meant Gertrude. I was like, damn, how's she walking out there?
She was released in December of 1972. Gertrude,
That's a
I don't.
fucking year after.
Literally
What?
makes no sense. If you're gonna try and escape from prison, why would they let you out? Also, why would they let you out anyway? You're
Well, it
fucking
did say
2 to 20 years. It's not
Little
even 2 years.
it wasn't
demon.
even, yeah. That might have not even been a full fucking year. Because it
don't-
was from some month in 1971, and then she's let out in December of 1972.
And the funny thing, like, it's not like she has money, so it's not like she's paying these people
Yeah.
off. How?
Gertrude, however, was again convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Over the course of the following 14 years, Gertrude became known as a model prisoner at the Indiana Women's Prison. She worked in the prison sewing shop and was known as somewhat of a den mother to younger female inmates.
What the?
What?
I know.
They must not have known what she did.
Which is crazy. Like, people in prison beat other people and kill them in prison because they know
If
what
they do
did.
stuff to a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Something's wrong with y'all, all of you.
This also was the 70s.
Yeah,
So
get
like,
it together.
do
Becoming
better.
Do better.
known to some within the prison by the nickname Mom. By the time Gertrude's
What?
ultimate parole in 1985, she had changed her name to Nadine Van Fossen, a combination of her middle name and maiden name, and described herself described herself as a devout Christian.
What the fuck?
Sure.
News of
You're going to hell.
Literally.
Yeah. News of Gertrude's impending parole hearing created an uproar throughout Indiana. Jenny Likens and other immediate family members of Likens protested against any prospect of her release. The members of 2 anti-crime groups also traveled to Indiana to oppose Gertrude's potential parole and to publicly support the Likens family. Members of both groups initiated a sidewalk picket campaign over the course of 2 months. These groups collected over 40,000 signatures from citizens in Indiana, including signatures obtained from outraged citizens who were too young to contemporarily recollect the case. All signatures gathered demanded that Gertrude remain incarcerated for the remainder of her life.
As
Good
they
shit.
should.
Yeah.
Good. How many signatures would they need?
I don't know. I never know. I think it's different for everything.
Hmm.
Within her parole hearing, Gertrude stated her wish that Likens' death could be undone. Weird, because you did it.
Hmm.
And you're all there in the head,
So
so...
literally said, you're faking it.
It's
You're
one
fucking
thing for someone to
better.
be like, oh, I wish I didn't buy that TV. Or I wish I didn't go to this party.
You fucking killed her.
I wish I didn't
You-
kill her.
Beat her over 3 months. How do you just... I wish I didn't do that.
Stupid. That's why.
Jesus.
Although she minimized her responsibility for any of her actions, stating, I'm not sure in what role I had in Sylvia's death because I was on drugs. I never really knew her. I take full responsibility for whatever happened to Sylvia. Taking Gertrude's good conduct in prison into account, the parole board marginally voted in favor of granting her parole, and she was released from prison in December 4th, 1985.
No flippin' way. I was on drugs and I don't remember her.
Were you
Ma'am,
not the one that told every single fucking person in the neighborhood to beat her?
And were you not the
And then
one
paying
receiving
her?
money
Yeah.
from her dad
yeah.
to watch her? Wow.
I didn't know her that well.
Ma'am, she
Okay,
lived in
bitch.
your house.
Oh my God.
Following her 1985 release from prison, Gertrude Benizewski relocated to Iowa. She never accepted full responsibility for Sylvia's prolonged torment and death, insisting she was unable to precisely recall any of her actions in the months of Sylvia's prolonged and increasing abuse and torment within her home.
Fucking
You
lying
are
piece of
delusional.
shit. You are a
Delusional.
pathological liar, ma'am.
You're lying to yourself. She primarily blamed her actions upon the medication she had prescribed to treat her asthma. When does an
What?
inhaler
What?
make it somebody beat a child with a curtain rod?
Albuterol.
I can tell you the most thing that albuterol will do is if you take it when you don't need it, it'll give you your heart rate will spike and just kind of gives you like almost like caffeine. Or
But
it
it
can give
doesn't
you a
make you
headache.
want to beat someone?
It can give you a headache.
Would it make you want to beat someone? How about carb stuff?
How about force feed them diapers?
Nope.
Interesting. Good to know.
No, it actually does none of those things, which is really crazy.
Interesting.
Whoa, what those were
Um,
drugs that she was on.
It actually helps you and makes you breathe better.
Yeah, weird.
Crazy.
Crazy.
And people still use it all around the world today.
It's not like she has a lack of oxygen to her brain and is just
Nope.
wow.
out of it.
Have you ever heard of anyone who uses an inhaler that beats children? Just that
I'm
you can
sure
think
there are
of.
people that have done that.
I was gonna
but I
say,
don't
I'm
think
sure
the
people use
inhaler
Well,
is
I
making
know what I'm
them.
trying to say.
I don't think the inhaler is making them
That's
beat
what I'm
people.
trying to say.
We all are like, well, Autumn.
Well.
Actually,
let me tell you.
I say
Oh my
one
god, that
thing.
reminds me. After the pod, I need to show you guys a meme.
Gertrude lived in a relatively obscure. What? I don't know.
Well.
She lived somewhere in Iowa until her death due to lung cancer in June 16th, 1990, at the age of 61.
Good. I hope it was
Death to
fucking
all of you.
horrible and the worst
Hope
pain
you were
she could
suffering
ever
the
go
entire
through.
fucking time.
Yeah.
In Sylvia, Sylvia now has a child family because she died.
No. I had no idea. Sorry.
Autumn.
You're so funny.
Killing herself over here.
There's now a child advocacy center that is officially dedicated to the memory of Sylvia Likens, founded in 2010 in Lebanon, Indiana, and initially named the Boone County Child Advocacy Center. This nonprofit organization was renamed in Likens' honor in 2016, with the executive director stating the most important thing that we can do is tell kids they are hurt and we are listening. This was not... What?
My
My
vape. I was reaching. It was. I could feel it under my butt cheek.
Oh. This was something that no one did for young Sylvia. Her family is thankful, though. It doesn't have to be that way anymore. She did not die in vain. She died a horrific death. But because of that, we're hoping that that another child can be saved. The Child Advocacy Center was formed with the objective to assist child victims of abuse and neglect, to minimize the ongoing traumatic events experienced as a result of their ordeal, and to undertake a relentless pursuit to prevent child abuse in both Boone and Montgomery counties. Professionals at Sylvia's Child Advocacy Center work in concert with both law enforcement and local departments of child services. Staff also conduct forensic interviews and provide assistance with legal procedures as well as mental and medical health referrals. And that is the story of Sylvia Likens.
The awful story of her.
Wow.
And how Gertrude Benezuski is a wench. Wretched
Poor
bitch.
How she's
Sylvia.
currently burning in hell for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
You deserve it, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Was it Paula that that had the Bible in her hand when
Yeah.
the police showed up? Oh my
You're in
God.
hell too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're in hell too.
Wow.
What did her parents say about? Did you? Read
Yeah,
anything
like,
about
what
her
did her
parents say
dad-
about any of this?
They, not like in detail, they were, I mean, obviously upset. And they obviously were like, who the fuck did we leave our kids with? But nothing like, I don't think I found any
Like they
statements
didn't
or
like
anything.
say anything to
Yeah.
like the public, I guess.
I do wonder like what their thoughts were though.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone out for murder.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I would have done the same
That
thing.
was
to
a
Gertrude.
joke, people.
Yes.
Yeah,
We don't
joking.
actually mean
Legally a
No.
joke.
Legally a joke.
it. Redacted.
Redacted.
That is
Okay.
crazy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for finally.
Thank
I was
giving
going
us
to
that
say,
part.
happy I could finally share.
All right. Next week, what are we doing next week? Or Monday?
Monday's just gonna be probably one of our fun ones.
Yeah. We'll
And
figure out a
then-
topic.
Yeah.
We'll do something chillaxing, or we'll do something like conspiracy theories. We'll figure out something.
You'll find
Yeah.
out.
You'll find out.
Who
Come
knows?
back
It's
Monday
a
to find out.
surprise.
Come back.
Hope you had a
Thank
great
you.
Thursday.
Be sure to like and follow all of our socials.
Subscribe.
Yep. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Adios.